So I feel like the last few years has been, my life has been, in terms of like my well-being and my kind of anxiety or whatever, it's been very up and down over the years. And the last few years has been down, right? It's been really, really hard. But now I'm coming back up again to limitless Karina, to the Karina that did the TED Talk, the Karina that said, I can do what I want and I will do it. I'll make it happen. That's starting to feel like who I'm becoming again. It was always who I was, lost connection to it for a very long time. And it was all due to losing myself and self-abandoning myself. I didn't even know what those words meant, right? So I can very much relate to periods of extreme anxiety and physical symptoms with stress and anxiety. I've taken myself to A&E countless times because of panic sensations that I thought were lethal. I have had really, really recurring OCD thoughts. If you know OCD, you know it's got many, many, many subtypes, and I have experienced many of them. My kind of predominant go-to nervous system response was always freeze, because when I was younger, I was in many situations where I couldn't escape, I couldn't get out, and there was nowhere safe for the feelings to land. So if you can't fight or flight, you're going to freeze. And so that's what I chose, and it's something that I've been working on healing for a long time. And yeah, I feel like really I'm a very, very creative person. I like talking to people, I like being with people, which is why I'm going to invite more people onto the to the YouTube channel. I like my favourite job really that I ever had was actually working in a language school. I always remember this vivid image of me walking down the corridor going, hello, 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 just so happy to see everybody. Like connection, community, creativity, all those things that we really, really need, right? And I was just living in this environment where the structure was done for me. Oh, by the way, I should say as well, I always say this is like a side thing, but I suppose it is a thing, is that I was diagnosed with ADHD last year. And I thought, yeah, well, okay, whatever. Whatever. ADHD, okay. For some people, that's like a really big moment in their life. Like, wow, I finally understand. But for me, I kind of have taken it a bit with a pinch of salt. But as I understand it more, the more I'm like, oh yeah, no wonder I have struggled with so much like criticism in my life. Like I've struggled with criticism, with being misunderstood. Like my biggest trigger, honestly, is when someone doesn't understand me. I get so triggered still when I feel misunderstood. It's something I still got to work on. But like if I express myself and feel like someone's missed the point, I really struggle with that. Especially my relationship with my dad and my mum. Like I've always felt like I over-explain, which makes sense looking back at it. But you might be able to relate to that. But, the loves of my life are obviously my son. I've got a son who is 2. He is amazing. He's so funny. He is just so full of energy and love. And I'm very grateful for him, for being able to be a mum, even though obviously like that relationship didn't work, and being a single parent is incredibly hard. Like I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Like, in fact, honestly, I think when you break up with somebody, you don't like just suddenly feel peaceful, even though the relationship was bad. You have different problems, but at least you're in integrity with yourself. And that's what I've felt like. I've been more in alignment with my values and like what I want for myself and for Noah. And that's felt better than staying in a situation where I was perpetually stressed, where I couldn't be the parent that I wanted to be, where Noah wasn't witnessing a relationship that was healthy. I really just needed to be in alignment with my values about that. But I've really, really struggled with single parenting, like on my own. I found it really, really hard. And I've struggled obviously with money. All these things, which I'm sure I'll talk about more on the channel as we go on. But just doing this video to say I'm very human. I do not have it all figured out. I'm not ahead of you. I'm not behind you. But I'm very good at coaching. I'm really good at it because I can see people's patterns very clearly, and I'm good at asking the right questions. And the people that I've been around, who I've been coached by, who have watched coach other people, have inspired me a lot and taught me a lot. So my coaching has changed over the years. In terms of like where I'm at now, honestly, I'm still discovering it. You're coming with me while I figure this out, because I don't know. Like, I don't know what we're doing. We're just going to go for it and see what happens and see where this takes us. And it may be successful and it may not. And you know what? I'll be all right. Either way. So, yeah, I mean, there's so much more I can say, but that's... oh, yeah, I did forget to say, I moved to Australia. No, I've been to lots of places. I've been to so many different places. I moved around a lot when I was young. My dad lived in Turkey, so I was there quite a bit. And I was also, he lived in Germany. And we went on many, many holidays when I was younger with my grandparents and, you know, other people. My mum took us to India on her own when me and my brother were 10 and 11, which was one of the best things ever. So I was very well travelled very early. But I lived in Australia for 2.5 years. I was homesick for the whole time and felt trapped. And I was a social media specialist there. So in Brighton, I became a social media specialist. And that meant being very creative, talking to lots of people. I was also, obviously, as I said, an English language teacher, which was fun, but I didn't enjoy like the admin part of that. I didn't enjoy the stats part of being a social media specialist. I just liked the creative bit. So, yeah, I've not been very suited to having a boss, honestly. But I'm not also very suited to running a business on my own. I'll tell you that for free. I've struggled with the admin part of having a business myself. I really don't like doing it on my own. Yeah, all of those things may be ADHD related. I don't know. But lived in Australia, then moved to Thailand for a little while and enjoyed that. I was in Chiang Mai for quite a while, and then went down the south and stayed there. Where else? I obviously was in Italy for about a year. Really got quite good at Italian, but it's all gone now, even though I live next door to an Italian cafe and they all speak Italian, but they also speak English, so it's hard. But when I was in Italy, I had a great time just sort of getting to know people and trying to speak Italian. It was just a weird and wonderful kind of eat, pray, love experience. I was obsessed with my ex at that time. Obviously, as many of you know, I was obsessed with manifesting him. And when I look back at that, I think, wow, I was really sad. I was not particularly okay. I was so focused on him, but I was also able to be creative and make music videos. I've done lots on BBC Radio introducing, and done even live sessions at BBC Radio introducing as well, which I intend to do again. I'm sure I'll release more music. You can find my music, by the way, on Spotify. There's loads. If you type in Karina Taylor, it's kind of got my story on there over the last few years. You'll be able to pick out which bits you recognise. Probably not all of it is what you think it's about, but you know, you can have a listen. I've loved releasing music. I did a master's degree in songwriting. That's why I moved back from Australia, and that was really scary as well. And I missed Australia when I got back. So I've kind of always had this problem of like thinking that the grass is greener somewhere else. And where I am now in Cambridge, it's nice, but I miss Brighton. And so I kind of keep thinking about moving to Brighton, because I never thought I'd end up being in Cambridge, because it always has felt like a temporary place. So that is a big thing to think about as a single parent, but we'll see. But anyway, there we go. 20 minutes. You know more about me now. And thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to get to know me more, come to the living room. And I'll see you in the next video.